Alright, so today we'll be changing the speakers in a 2006 Ford Taurus. First, what you'll need to do is disconnect the positive wire. You're working with electrical, you want to disconnect any type of battery. We'll need for the door panels will be a screwdriver and a pry bar. They make a specific pry bar for dealing with door panels and trim, but this car is a beater, so it does not matter. Alright, so this is one kind of way I've learned how to strip wires when you don't have wire cutters. Take a lighter, you heat it up, and you just pull it off. Alright, for this part, you're going to need to take out these screws right here. And you take the pry bar around here, taking out all the screws, and prying it off. Make sure that you jimmy it over the top through the lock and to the door handle. Unplug everything that needs to be unplugged, and then work at the speakers. Alright, so to get a better look, so there's two screws on the bottom of the door panel. There's one right here, one right there. You go on to this other side, just screw right here. You flip it over. Then there's these clips right here that are holding it in after you take out the screws. Any clips remaining in the door you want to put back into the on the door panel. I've already took this out. You're going to need to unplug this wire and then rewire it. Also, each one of these wires, you just pinch and pull. For all of them, they're all kind of easy to pull. This one's fine, you don't need to unplug this. So, right here, you get the wires. The plug just pulls right off of the old speaker. And then the blue and white wire is your negative wire, and your tan and green one right here is your positive wire. I'm probably going to strip it and then plug it into the speaker wire that comes with the new speakers that I got, these Rockford Fosgate. Alright, so the first step of getting rid of the back speakers is taking out all your shit because you're sloppy. Alright, so to get to your rear deck, you need to take off one bolt here, one bolt there, and two on the same side on the other side. And then whenever you get to the part where it's covering these speakers, there's these little clips, where one of the clips like these, and they go right this hole. The proper way of doing it would be to take some kind of pry bar to do it. We used a wrench and a ratchet, but don't do that. Alright, one thing I do recommend using, I like using heat shrinks instead of electrical tape, because electrical tape pulls out easier. This kind of forms to the wire, and all I have to do is connect the positive to the negative. One thing I do recommend while changing these speakers is definitely take off the positive wire off the battery, because I've tried to work with my stereo before and I ended up messing up the couple fuses because I didn't unplug the wire, and I ended up having to take it to the shop because I didn't know what was going on. Big thing that I would recommend is to organize, keep everything in the same spot, and not to confuse any bolts, because a lot of the bolts, or none of the bolts and screws are the same size except for the door panel, all door panel screws, and all except for the ones right beside the handle, which are a little bit longer. And you'll notice I did end up trying to put the longer one in, and it wouldn't fit all the way. So they all have different heads. Definitely be careful with taking out the clips, because a lot of the clips are easily broken, being the car is over 6 or 10 years old. A lot of parts are going to break, and a lot of parts are going to snap because it's never been taken apart before. It's still stock parts. But if you do it carefully, you're not going to break anything, because I did break a couple pieces, but like I said, it is a beater car, so it's not that big of a deal. But in order to do everything right, you got to organize and then you have to be sure you correct everything you've done wrong and just label. Really, I didn't label anything, but I did organize a bit more, and I did memorize it. Since it was a project that wasn't all that big, it was just replacing 4 speakers. The reason why I replaced these speakers is because the 2 on the passenger side were blown, and I was going to do a serpentine belt video, but the gap in between the engine and the fender was way too small, so I decided to do speaker videos because it would make a way easier video to make.